Hey, CE Avengers fans, how's it going? We're here with another small local business in the Hudson Valley. I'm interviewing Dr. Peter here. He owns Middletown Health Wellness and Chiropractic. He's a part of I Love Local Rewards as well. So if you are looking for a discount or a reward, he is one of those businesses that are on our program offering that right now. So stop by ilovelocalrewards.com. Now, Dr. Pete, is it Dr. Pete, Dr. Peter? Which do you like better?
Dr. Peter.
Dr. Peter. We're going to go with the official.
There you go.
So, Dr. Peter, tell us, how do people get in contact with you first and foremost?
All right. So by phone, 845-344-0444. You can actually call that number or text that same number, and we'll reply to you.
Okay. And where are you guys located at? What's your address?
450 East Main Street, Middletown, New York. We've been here for 30 plus years.
Awesome. And so, the main thing that I want to make sure that people know is where you are and where you exist. What kind of services do you guys offer?
Well, it's primarily chiropractic, but my focus has always been to provide solutions for better health naturally. So we delve into what causes the condition that I treat. And typically, we're looking at stress, whether it's mental, physical, or chemical. And from there, we provide solutions. So we have ways to overcome physical stress. We have ways to overcome mental stress, and we have ways to overcome biochemical stress.
Okay. And now, so like what services at your location do you actually offer? As I know that you have multiple different ways of treating a patient if they were to come to your location. So, so you have the chiropractic. Now, are you doing traditional chiropractic work, or are you doing any modifications?
Good question. I started off with the traditional hands-on type of chiropractic care. But after about 10 or 15 years of doing that, I thought I needed something different. About 15 years ago, I incorporated a technique called torque release. Torque release is a less traumatic, if you will. I'm trying to find my instrument, but it's an instrument that we use to provide a little impulse to the spine. We analyze for stress and tension, and that works marvelously. I never would have thought it, but we use that technique on basically individuals who are concerned about getting their body manipulated, hearing the pops or the cracks. So we can use this instrument for that. And again, it works really, really well. Many people, however, believe it or not, still like the hands-on. They still like to feel their joints open up and get freed. And that's really what we're doing is looking at the spine for joints that have become tight and restricted from stress.
Yeah. Now, other than doing the chiropractic work, now, do you offer like hints and kind of like assistance in like posture and
Huge.
I mean, what are some things that people could kind of do to help get a good posture, I guess you could say?
Perfect. So a big part of our analysis in the beginning is posture, is exactly that. We live in a stressful world, and we live in a world filled with, my cell phone. We're constantly on this guy here with our head hanging down exactly right. And then we fail to stretch back. We get a rounded in our upper back. I mean, I once saw a woman in the mall back when you used to be able to go to the mall. I saw her from the back, and I couldn't see her head. She was so far forward, hunched over. And that really was the key to me on identifying that's and I've seen so many patients over the years where they've worked in a posture or position for years and years and years, seamstress and things like, and they go to their medical doctor with pain, and they say, well, here, take this painkiller and come back if it gets worse. Well, that's not the solution. That's not the answer. And so we provide those solutions. What does somebody do if they have this kind of stress? Are they drinking enough water? How's their nutrition? Are they consuming too much sugar, too much fast food? All that stuff is toxic to our body, and we try to help and enlighten and help to provide solutions for better health naturally.
So now, with the posture and making sure that people stay, What are some key hints that you could kind of give them to practice? I know you had it on your video a couple of times about posture and how to really kind of maintain a good posture. But what are some things that people could like take home to actually do to maintain that?
Yeah, awesome question. The primary thing, first thing and foremost, is awareness. Awareness that those kinds of bad postures will create permanent can create permanent deformities in your posture, which is very stressful. So identifying what's wrong, first of all, and especially if you have kids, look at their posture. If you look at somebody standing up straight from the side, the thing you want to look for is the ear over the shoulder. If the ear is not over the shoulder and you got a forward head projection, those muscles in the back of your upper back, yeah, exactly like that. Those muscles are screaming to keep your head weighs 10 to 12 pounds. So that's a bowling ball on top of a little stalk of bone. That becomes stressful. So analyzing the posture and then working on a correction to go the other way, whether it's stretching or strengthening. And you can see all those videos on my YouTube page.
Yeah. So talking about your YouTube page, so you have a channel on YouTube. You also have a Facebook and Instagram, right? Or just a Facebook?
I have Facebook, and I think that feeds Instagram
Okay.
automatically. I don't really go on to Instagram.
Okay, so you have a Facebook and Instagram that, Facebook and YouTube that you're actively on.
Yes.
And basically a lot of your key points are, I mean, you do a live like almost every day that I've seen, like every, so often you do a live almost every day to give like tips and hints at what you should be doing. And then basically you want to direct them to the YouTube page where you give them more of a full example of what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay. And on YouTube, it's Middletown Health Wellness and Chiropractic as well.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So, that's cool stuff to be able to look at. I mean, you have a lot of key information. So to kind of delve in, so that's the chiropractic portion. So the health and wellness portion, you also go over people's physical and also their I guess toxicity levels in their body. Like what other things do you guys do?
Well, in reality, when patients come to see me, their primary focus is their pain right off the bat. And so, first of all, I have to establish their interest in making those changes. If somebody's not interested in a dietary change, they're not interested in stopping going to McDonald's. If they're not interested in that stuff, then I don't talk about it. But so we talk about, if they're interested, we talk about what their levels of sugar are, how often do they go to fast food, how much water do you drink a day. Our bodies are a walking chemical reaction, and every chemical reaction requires water. And so the what is it, 8-ounce glasses a day, that's just not enough for somebody who's a little bit bigger. I talk about 1 ounce for every 2 pounds of body weight. So if you're 120 pounds, yeah, 8-ounce glasses a day is okay. If you're more than 120 pounds, you got to think about drinking more water. And if you're outside working in the heat and you're sweating, you need to drink more water. If you indulge in alcohol or too much coffee, you should also drink more water.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, everybody always says like, if you want to get over a hangover, not that we're going to be talking about drinking alcohol, but if you want to get over a hangover, you want to drink a lot of water, because basically it's your brain actually shrinks when you have alcohol. So it's a way to kind of fluff it back up and
dehydrates you. Alcohol dehydrates.
Like a pillow. You're just fluffing it back up.
Fluff it back up.
Yeah. So now the main thing is if somebody wanted to book a time with you, is it something that they have to come in and walk in, or is it like an appointment only? I know with COVID is kind of different, but like once we go back to normal, is it a walk-in possible, or is it always going to be a scheduled time?
For new patients, we typically don't want to encourage walk-ins, although we have had them. We've had potential patients come in, they see our sign, they've seen our sign, and they're driving by and they're in excruciating pain. Those kinds of instances, if we can fit them in, we will fit them in right away. But for new patients, we like to have an appointment, because that time is theirs, and we want to be able to make sure that we have an opening in the schedule where we can work with them uninterrupted.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you probably have like an evaluation that you have to do to see where they're at and where you want them to be.
Oh, yeah, that's patients, potential patients. People call many times and they can I just come in for a quick adjustment? Well, when was the last time you were here? Well, I was never there. Well, no, you can't come in for a quick adjustment. We need to do an exam. Not only is it necessary for my care, but my malpractice company would not like it too much if I started popping people without an exam.
Yeah, I got a scoliosis. It's all right. You can just adjust me real quick.
Exactly right. Quick adjustment right here. I need it right here. My last chiropractor did it to me. They're like,
yeah. So, I mean, as I'm talking with you, I keep adjusting my posture because it's something that I'm always aware of, especially when it comes to interviews and being, in a seated position. So for somebody that does office work, that continually is on the computer like this, data entry or whatever, are there some key things that they could, in their mind, tell them, hey, you need to adjust this, like, bring it back, or what's a proper position, or what's a proper seating, like a way to sit yourself properly that would kind of help prevent these malformities, disformities, in the spine.
Distortion. So yes, if somebody wants to reach out to me, I have a sheet of paper with the ideal setup. Years ago we used to talk about the industrial worker being having a work-related concern, but now it's the sedentary worker. People who sit at their desk for hours and hours without stretching, without changing that posture is not good. So I've often talked about setting up a kitchen timer. Set a kitchen timer, set it for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, set it for 45 minutes. But when it goes off, you stand up, you stretch, and you do things to help change your posture. And again, when you're at the computer, try to avoid, that head forward where you're just, hanging your head in the computer. If necessary, bring your monitor closer so you don't have to squint and ruin your posture doing that. So what do you do when that timer goes off? Well, you stand up and you stretch, or you can even stretch from your seat. I talk about the chin tuck all the time. If you
double chin though, but
if you check your flexibility in rotation, so turn to the left, turn to the right, see how far you can go, see how tense it feels, and then do 5 chin tucks where you're just pushing your chin back for a second or two, 5 times, and then test it again. I can almost guarantee you that you'll have better range of motion, maybe less tension and stress. So that just demonstrates that that's a good thing to do frequently throughout the day. Another stretch that we talk about, because you're not just distorting your neck, it's your whole upper back, your whole upper posture. So stretching this back, and I don't know if you can see, I call it the stick 'em up stretch. Where you got 90 degrees at your shoulder, 90 degrees at your elbow, push your elbows back, push your wrist back, and push your face back. This will get all the joints in your sternum, your upper back, get those muscles moving in a different direction.
Bring it further back.
Right? Yeah, helps with the shoulders, because again, we're rounding things in, we're rounding our shoulders in when we're doing that work. And so stretching it in the opposite direction, that's it. Just think mirror direction, opposite direction for stretching. So if you're doing work and you're bending all day long, you want to stretch an extension, stretch backwards.
Okay. So, I mean, if anybody wants any more tips, hints, any advice, I mean, I would definitely talk to Dr. Peter. So, I mean, he's honestly a very good person to, get that advice from. I mean, I hear nothing but raving reviews all the time. Unfortunately, you're all the way in Middletown. I'm all the way in Wappinger. So I haven't been able to actually utilize your services, but I have talked with you on many occasions, and I definitely know that you are definitely a good authority on making sure to help people, especially with your live videos. They help a lot of people out. A lot of people always comment saying that, you're leaving them with very good information. That alone is like priceless for somebody's life. Again, I want to make sure that with anything that we do, people know how to contact you. So one more time, how do people get in contact with you when it comes to either setting up an appointment or, getting adjusted or, anything like that, whatever they have to do to meet with you on either the digital realm or the physical realm?
Okay, so I didn't give it the first time, but you can reach us by email, dr@mhwc.rocks, ROCKS. That's a good email to remember, MHWC, Middletown Health Wellness and Chiropractic.rocks. And again, you can also text or telephone us at 845-344-0444.
All right, awesome. And now, do you guys also have a website?
Yeah. That's also Middletown Health Wellness and Chiropractic. You can also get to it by going to Holst, HOLST, Holst Chiropractic. That's what it was. That's what we were before we switched our name, changed our name a couple of years ago.
Okay. I mean, the most important thing is if you guys are in the Middletown area or surrounding, and you definitely need, help, definitely talk to Dr. Peter. He can help you out with anything that has to do with your health and body and wellness. And basically, if he can't, he knows somebody that can. You know what I'm saying? Like he networks himself in such a way that he knows a lot of people in his network that can help you. So it's definitely somebody that you definitely want to have in your Rolodex and be able to utilize. That being said, you also take insurance, but also you could pay as you use your services, correct?
We are a provider for many insurances. Some were not. The ones that were not a participating provider in are those that are not good insurances for the patient. So in other words, they have minimal coverage, limited coverage. And typically when that happens, patients come in and when the insurance is done, they're done. And so I'm not looking for quick fixes. I mean, I'll be happy to help patients if that's what they want, but it's not good. Musculoskeletal problems don't go away. The condition I treat is caused by stress. Let me know how you can figure out how to get along without stress. I always recommend continued care. I'll never discharge a patient unless they have some other condition that I can't help them with. Patients can certainly discharge themselves if they've had enough of me, if they're feeling better and they don't want to continue. I understand that, but we at least want to make some corrections so the problem doesn't come back next week, and that's typically what will happen. Just because we're under stress all the time, and that's why I love to provide solutions. If you can get on the floor and do the exercises I recommend, you'll need me less. Unfortunately,
unfortunate for you, but great for your patients, Yeah,
but unfortunately, our society has been trained by the medical profession and the pharmaceutical companies that
you throw a pill at it and you're good to go.
Exactly. The quick fixes. Everybody wants a quick fix, and there is no such thing. If you take a pill and you mask the pain, right? What are you doing? You're allowing it to get worse over time. And then we see patients years later. And how long have you had this problem? Off and on for about 20 years. Can you fix me tomorrow? I gotta go away for the weekend. Can you fix me? And so we want to make sure patients know when they come in that I'd love to help you, but it's a commitment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the most important thing I want to make sure that people knew about. So check with Dr. Peter of your coverage and, basically setting up an appointment with him. You were going to say something else?
Yeah, I was just going to say that you brought up a good point before that you're in Wapping because I'm in Middletown. So it's got to be convenient. If the location of your chiropractor is not convenient, you're not going to go. You're going to feel better. You're going to stop going. And so while I appreciate people hearing about me from far and wide, if you can't get to see me, if it's going to be inconvenient to come and see me over time, then perhaps I should help you find a chiropractor in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you have a wide variety of networks that you work around. So if you don't know someone, or excuse me, if you can't help you, I know that you know someone that could.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. But that being said, you guys know that he's on I Love Local Rewards, so he actually has a good deal. In order to see it, you have to be a member. The cards are only $10 for the whole year, and basically you get not only his business but over 80 different businesses. And as we accumulate more, I keep losing track of the number because we keep gaining and losing members all the time. But we always have different deals coming up, and it's good to support small local businesses like Dr. Peters' business. Check them out on Facebook or on YouTube. I mean, he gives a very in-depth video of information that is a wealth of information when it comes to your health. And that being said, everybody, check you out on the next video. Make sure you follow, like, share, and we're also going to tag Dr. Peters' page to our post. So make sure you give them a like as well. We want your local to be our local at I Love Local Rewards. All right, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Ramon.